SVG's Jason Dachman here, another episode of SVG SportsTech On Demand, and I am joined by Jeremy Strootman, VP of Business Development at Squarebox Systems. Really appreciate you taking the time, Jeremy. Thanks so much. First of all, everybody in your family, everybody on the Squarebox team staying healthy, hopefully?
Absolutely, yeah. We are just, like everyone else, sheltering in place here on Long Island and itching to get out of the house, but we're playing it safe, right? And everybody on the Squarebox side, from the UK team to the US team to the Canadian team, they're all happy and healthy, and we're just having as much fun as we can with this. Lots of virtual happy hours with the team.
Seriously, yeah, I think I've had more beers over Zoom in the last week than I ever had before.
That's absolutely right.
So, you know, obviously NAB is not physically taking place right now, but I'm sure that doesn't mean that you guys don't have some news and some updates for the CatDV platform. I'm sure there's some cool new enhancements, possibly impacted by the pandemic situation that's happening right now. So give us a little idea of some of the things that users are being introduced to with new features and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously we had a lot of stuff on the docket that we were looking very forward to showing people at NAB. But, you know, with the situation being what it is, you know, we absolutely jumped into high gear and we made these announcements late last week. So we're right on the cutting edge of this, and we are making all of this stuff available for customers who are in support now. So a lot of the feature sets that we are bringing to the table, just in terms of product enhancements and product features, you know, really do speak to what's actually happening right now. So, you know, first and foremost, I mean, if we want to talk about remote editorial capabilities, you know, we are releasing the 5th version of our Adobe Premiere panel, and that is available now. One of the key things in terms of that panel, really, the idea always has been utilizing your MAM inside of your editorial platform. So having the ability to search and find assets and log against those assets if you're in that creative environment without actually having to leave, you know, your editorial tool, right? So one of these features is the ability to connect to your CatDV server remotely, build a project within Premiere and download all those proxies locally so you can continue that edit. When we check that project file back in through CatDV, it synchronizes back with home base, and you can either you know, render or do a final output from home base if you've got the capability of remote controlling that, or there's somebody at home base who can do that, or you can drag your high-res assets locally. So the Premiere panel got a big update. Our web client is also getting a big update, completely new interface and design. You know, something for the kids out there who are used to, you know, some of the hamburgers and ... menus and gears for settings and all of that. So just kind of a refresh there. It's very reactive, so very mobile friendly, tablet friendly, all of that. But one of the couple of the key things here that, you know, some of our users in the sports, you know, content creation market we're looking for is really the ability to solo out various audio channels from within the web client. Now, that's kind of a hard thing to do over a, you know, HTML5 player. So we've redesigned the entire player to accommodate that. So being able to select multiple channels of audio that you want to listen to and key in, you know, whether that's announcers, whether that's various languages, whether that's just background noise and crowd audience noise and all of that, you know, it's coming in really handy. But since we started to dig into that player engine, we added a couple of more enhancements to that. So now you can play back any myriad of closed caption files natively inside of the web client. So if you've got different languages or what have you, you'll be able to pull up those closed captions right there in the web player window, as well as the opportunity for annotations and things along those lines. So we did a lot for the web side of the platform as well. You know, the other thing, you know, is really being able to work with cloud buckets and be able to index from cloud buckets. So for a long, long time, we've of course had the ability for folks to archive their content into the cloud. And, you know, a lot of our key customers are doing that, and they've been very happy for a very long time with that. You know, but when we were bumping into net new CatDV customers, we were finding that a lot of people had been pushing stuff into the cloud all along, you know, prior to even having a MAM. So now, you know, the obvious thing is how do you get all that information into the MAM? Well, we've allowed the capability of actually ingesting those objects in place in the cloud, so there's no egress, and you don't have to restore everything and all of that just to get that content indexed in the MAM. So those are some of the key things we've been working on.
That's great. Well, I mean, look, with everything that's happening, we're obviously seeing a shift to more cloud-based workflows, more, you know, remote applications. What are you seeing from some of your sports clients right now? Obviously, there's no live sports, and as a result, those content libraries have become like gold, right? It's all the leagues and the broadcasters kind of have to work with right now, and in order to be able to find that content, you need a quality MAM infrastructure. So, how are you
Right.
seeing sports users leverage those libraries, and how are you guys trying to help them do that?
Well, you know, a lot of the folks who, you know, just had a season cut short or barely even got started still have had a lot of, like, in the case of baseball, you know, spring training content, things along those lines. Some of the basketball and hockey that was just plain cut off mid-season, you know, people are still able to log. So they actually, you know, working from home and being able to work over the web client or actually remote in over a VPN, but still use our traditional bread and butter CatDV installed client to work with their media to log. That didn't stop anybody. But the point you touched on before, you're 100% right. These teams and these franchises are really looking for a way to keep engaged with fans, right? And whether that's through social media, whether that's pulling out old highlights and old games to play back on broadcast, you know, they really have been looking to leverage some of that older content, again, to keep engaged and keep front of mind with the fans, and give them a little Easter egg while everybody's trapped at home and doesn't have anything new to watch, right?
Right.
So a lot of those folks are just simply using the CatDV web capabilities that have been around forever, just to a wider, you know, maybe a wider audience for producers and researchers and editors to be able to gain access to. So what they were traditionally doing in-house, they're doing, you know, out of house at their homes. One of the things we've done is for those folks who have that capability, they've got proxies, they can drive their archive, they can retrieve everything they need to retrieve. They just simply need more connectivity and more seats of CatDV. So for anybody who's currently got those few requirements, you know, you need a web streamable proxy to be able to play back media and all of that over a web client. For those customers, we're just licensing them as many seats of web client as they need to get the job done during this pandemic. So it's been really good to help support those teams that have, you know, quite frankly, been very, very strong flagship customers and users of CatDV for many years.
Yeah, well, it's great to just see content being created still. That's exciting. That's what matters. And we'll get through this, and we'll have live sports again at some point. But
at some point, yeah.
Until then, Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it, man. And stay safe, okay?
Absolutely. Good chatting with you. Good seeing you, and you stay safe.
Thanks. For more episodes of SVG Sports Tech On Demand, stay tuned to sportsvideo.org and the SVG YouTube channel.